So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute, man. So, listen, man, y'all still out here wilding out, opening these boxes that you're just ordering from people on a dark web or different places. Like, stop. And to be honest with you, I thought about this type of stuff when I was down in New Orleans. And yes, you still got to hear me talk about New Orleans for like another week, because that was my first experience. And it was amazing. And now the group that I went with talking about running it back for a second time. So I don't know, maybe not. But while we were there on, I want to say it was on at the French Quarter, they had people outside doing tarot card readings and palm readings and stuff like that. And people that I was in the group with were getting in line, and they looked at me and I was like, you know how when somebody look at you to see if you next, and you don't give them the eye contact, I'm just looking away from them. Like, nah, fam. No, bro. Nah, I'm not doing that, man. Leave Pandora's box closed. I don't want to know. I don't need to know. When it happens, it'll happen. No. So that made me think about this. But the video we're getting into is the top 10 curse boxes that should have stayed shut. Should have stayed shut. All right, you heard that, right? Should have stayed shut. Just like they should have left those palm readings and tarot cards alone. All right, so if you're new to the channel, man, hit the subscribe button, join the fam. Let's check it out.
What's up, people? Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host, Ayman Hassan, and welcome back to another video here at Most Amazing Top 10. Cursed boxes, you guys, it's a popular thing. People are ordering them on eBay, on Amazon. Honestly, people are doing the most for these wretched boxes, and for what? To either scare the living guts out of themselves or to release a trapped Dybbuk spirit into their house because they're in need of a roommate. Either way, these are the top 10 cursed boxes that should have stayed shut, part 2. Starting us off with number 10 is My Friend. This one's from Redditor unknown_writer_00, who had a channel where he would film himself unbox mystery boxes from the dark web. The story ended up being the last one he ever ordered. He was nearly outbid for it, so he assumed it had to be a good box, and he finally got it in the end. When he opened it, it was filled with ripped up newspaper and the smell of absolute just rottenness. He pulled out a squishy garbage bag, and inside of it was a white Ziploc bag with some sort of plaid material inside of it. The smell was vomit worthy at this point, and written on the bag was smell of death, and now the user was like, should I even be filming this? What if it gets worse? Inside the plaid shirt.
No, absolutely, you need to film all of that. You opening it, you ordering it, you receiving it, everything. Film that. So when they knock at your door, the police, and you got this body or this pungent odor of some death, they're not looking at you.
It was a cassette tape that the user began listening to after throwing the shirt away. The tape was of a crackly man's voice saying he hoped he was happy with the mystery box and how a homeless man died near his house, and instead of reporting it, the man befriended the corpse. He'd been dead for a few days since bloody foam was coming out of his mouth, and that he was wearing the shirt in the Ziploc bag. The tape went on saying the man would visit the corpse every day, talking to it, and either way, the website the user bought the box from was taken down a few days later, and I think that was definitely the right move. Like, that is so screwed up. I don't even want to imagine what this guy was hearing on this tape. It's like 13 Reasons Why Dark Web Edition, I don't know. Coming in at number 9 is The Smoke. YouTuber Dark Arts TV ordered a Dybbuk box off the internet and thought it would be fitting to drive to an abandoned house and sneak inside and make a pentagram out of salt on the ground, light candles at its points, and then put the box in the middle, because we all want to do that. Inside the box was a real chicken's foot that seemed like it had been cut off quite a long time ago, mud, salt, and some black feather of some kind hiding in the mud. When they looked around the house more, they found a dead black crow near the pentagram, which had been dead for a while, but I mean, it also begs the question, was it just a coincidence? Is there a link there? I don't really know. The scariest part of the video was the smoke, though. They had a flashlight.
So if you ever got to ask yourself those questions, is this a coincidence? Whatever that box unleashed, it started now. It's starting now.
pointing up at the ceiling, just sitting there so, they'd at least have some light in the house. And in the beam, smoke started appearing all throughout the beam. And I'm talking, it was twisting, making unnatural shapes all within the beam, and was twisting and just going around like it had a mind of its own. And keep in mind, it wasn't dust smoke, it was proper smoke that came out of nowhere, died for a few seconds, and then came back stronger. Even sheep started gathering outside the house's window. It was all very, very strange. They then asked if there was someone with them in the room. Could they make themselves known by touching one of the friends there? And one immediately had a sharpshooting pain in her back. Now that could have easily just been back pain, but after seeing the smoke, the crow, the bloody sheep, I just believed her straight out. I mean,
that could have been like, with the ghost poking like a knife in your back and you feeling like it's pain, but he actually stabbing you.
Things are messed up when sheep are gathering around you, seriously. At number 8, we have the backpack. YouTuber Derek Gerard decided to be part of the Deep Web Challenge and order a mystery box off the dark web as well, and surprisingly his box was massive and everything was actually really well packed. Whoever sent it, your mum raised you right. Either way, the first few things he finds are some knives, but one particular one had the Nazi swastika on it and had old black stains on the blade which kind of looked like dry blood, but I'm not too sure. He next finds an old cord phone that had all its buttons smashed or broken, including the screen of the device, but the only number that was perfectly left intact was the number 6. Now, who is associated with the number 6? The devil, my friends, that's who. They next found a weird doll and a pink children's backpack. And backpacks like these have been in many mystery boxes. I don't know if that's terrifying or just a theme we have going on, but we'll just go with it. Inside, they found 2 little sneakers, a few dolls, and a letter written from the child's mum saying, "Have a good first day at school, my little angel." First day. Now I'm just worried this girl got abducted or something, but then after the next thing they got, I'm like, maybe she got murdered. They were also sent an urn with someone's ashes inside of it, which they refused to open further. And the final thing was a voodoo doll with a bunch of pins in it. Now I don't know who the voodoo doll is connected to, but they've been pricked many freaking times, so God be with you. Filling on number 7 slot are the lights. Now this one was...
Oh, that could have been what was hurting that person's back, like a few, what was it, number 6, number 4, whatever number it was. And the girl was complaining like she felt a sharp pain. Could have been a voodoo doll. See, you never know, bro. And after my experience down there, I don't put nothing past anybody.
Was included in part 1 as well, where the YouTuber Mindseed TV ordered a debug box online. Using an EMF detector on it, he realized it would beep uncontrollably near the box, so I mean that should say enough about what kind of malicious spirit was inside. It was sealed with red candle wax, and as soon as he opened it, the EMF detector stopped beeping around the box, implying the spirit had been released. After that, a weird tapping sound starts, and a minute later his YouTube plaque falls off the wall and he freaks out and leaves the house. But in his second video about it, he goes back home to see what the room looks like a day after. And mind you, no one has been inside his house after he left. He finds strange white scratches on top of the box that weren't there before. The disgusting odor is very much still in the room, and the next day his TV stops working even though it was completely fine before the box opened. The user himself felt uncomfortable while the TV was malfunctioning, almost as if he was being watched by something. Then something else started happening. Now he always turns off the lights before leaving the house, and on 2 occasions the red lights in his recording studio were on when he got back, even though he made sure beforehand he had definitely turned them off. And there was a weird shadow also moving in the room behind the curtains, but the clearest sign was when he straight up asked if there was a spirit in the room, and a knock came from inside his bathroom door, and then it started slowly closing. Mind you, he actually goes in and shows us that there's no one in the bathroom, but it still happened, and something or some spirit must have caused it. Now at number 6 is the photo album. YouTuber Juskinho ordered a mystery box off the dark web, and the contents were definitely not for the faint-hearted. The box itself was actually low-key actually nice. It was a wooden rounded crate that had Paris written on it and fake Paris postal stamps on it, so it kind of looked like something you'd get from Accessorize. Inside he found a MacBook Air which wouldn't turn on, an old voice recorder, a used retainer which is disgusting, dominoes and chess pieces, and he found a super old camera that wouldn't turn on either, but he managed to get the SD card out of it. But the weirdest thing he found was a photo album. On the cover, it was actually a picture featured in my cursed paintings video, which was a colored drawing of a haunting woman with huge eyes and a long neck. The picture was meant to give the onlooker suicidal thoughts, and inside the album he found aerial shots of some buildings, which is, I mean, fine, it's not weird. But as the album went on, the pictures got more zoomed in, and he realized he had actually live streamed from this building a few weeks ago. He had gotten chased out of there by 6 guys, and the whole album was just this location, which was creepy since buyers and sellers are anonymous. On the SD card, it was just blurry pictures of everything in the box. I mean, I was really hoping it was going to be more screwed up than that, but alas, it wasn't. Coming in at number 5 is PD. YouTuber Jake Weber opened a Dybbuk box in an empty park with his friends, and I don't know why people are still doing this. Honestly, has no one learned? Really, has no one learned? Anyway, on the wooden box itself, inscribed on top was "for the benefit of the borrower" in Hebrew, and on one side of it said the Holy Bible, and on the other side it said misfortune. On the bottom of the box it said "a man who is not a god but a devil," which I think is referring to either the spirit in the box or the person who would open it. The wax seal on the lock was even sliding off, and the wax sealing the sides was almost coming out from the inside, almost like the Dybbuk itself was trying to escape itself somehow. I mean, good on you for trying. When they finally got the box open, Jake started coughing uncontrollably straight away, like the spirit jumped inside of him. Because, you know, they attach themselves to either people or objects, so I mean, it could have dove straight in. Inside the box was a burnt black and white picture of someone's house with a person at the front of it, a dead flower, and a bunch of rocks and gemstones. In the second box they opened, there was a black and white picture.
Man, y'all, the first group of people still had gloves on. There's still people opening these boxes without gloves on. That is, I don't understand that part.
Of 3 kids, and the mum is in the picture, but she's blurry and out of focus almost, and on the back of all the pictures, the initials PD were written. They found a candle in the second one, as well as an old white cotton coaster that looked like tapestry almost. The kids in the photos looked miserable, and the Dybbuk is probably one of them or their mum, honestly, those are my guesses. At number 4 is the Christ box. YouTuber MindCTV posted a video unboxing a mystery box off the dark web, and I included that in part 1. And after that he got so many anonymous messages telling him to take his video down. This time his friend bought a box and he decided to unbox it with the YouTuber. The first thing they found was an old cash register of sorts that had the paper roll poking out. As they pulled out the paper, things like "he got what he deserved" and "she was mine" were found written on the paper. They next found a VCR tape that said "watch me."
What does that sound like to you? Got what he deserved. Huh? Now you are officially a part of a murder.
On it, which they definitely didn't, and then a drawing of a man with 3 kids that said "liar" on it, and on the back of that it had something taped to it that the men honestly thought could be a bomb. Now I definitely think that's far-fetched, but I mean,
whoa, I didn't even think about that, bro. I didn't even think about you actually receiving an explosive device or something like that. I didn't even think about that. That just adds a whole nother element of terror to these mystery boxes, fam. Y'all be careful.
It is the dark web, so anything is possible. They also found a picture of a pope with his eyes blacked out and a tiny kid's folder that said Father Tim on the front, and inside it had the names of different kids like Christine, Sarah, Megan, Jeffrey, and one name was weirdly blacked out. In one of the folder's sections was a picture of a mum and her kid, and the final few things were a metal cross, a pastor's jacket, and a wooden cross in the pocket of the jacket. There are even 4 die with words on them. One dice had pronouns like she, he, they, the other had words like is, was, etc. The third had words like big, small, red, black, and the fourth had words like girl, dead, and love. So it was a bit of a puzzle in terms of which 4 words went together to tell the story of the box, but what a loaded box it was. Religiously themed, but loaded. Filling our number 3 slot is the little girl. YouTuber Jaskinho was DM'd by a subscriber saying he moved into a new house and found a Dybbuk box in his attic. He sent it to the YouTuber for his video, and the whole thing was just creepy. The first thing he found was a small vase that looked like it had a dry, bloody thumbprint on it or some kind of red stain. Inside of it were ashes, which was just weird. I mean, it wasn't an urn, so why were there ashes inside? He also found 2 tiny black kids' shoes after which his camera just fell. There's no reason it should have fallen, he even confirmed that, but it did, and afterwards his camera just wouldn't focus on the box. He readjusted a bunch of times, but something was just not letting it focus. Just as he finally got it to focus and sat back down, he heard glass shattering in another room. When he followed the sound, he realized the spirit had knocked over a picture of him and his partner, and it was smashed onto the ground. The wind didn't knock it over since the window was closed, and that was the only thing that was knocked over, so if it was wind, a lot more things would have fallen down. The YouTuber starts freaking out trying to figure out how it happened when really the answer is plain and simple right in front of you. The last thing in the box was a picture of a little girl, assuming the shoes were hers too, and she is most likely the spirit he just released into his house, so good luck with that one. Now at number 2 is
I hope you wanted a roommate.
TJ. Redditor I'm a Throwaway 32 wanted to unbox a mystery box from the dark web on YouTube but had no idea how to get on there, so he asked someone on Discord and was messaged by a user called MRCC. They had a back and forth conversation and he ended up giving the user his friend TJ's address for the box to be delivered to. When it got there, obviously
Yo, that was dirty. Why you gonna know? Give him your address, not your friend's address. That's dirty.
Giving the user his friend TJ's address for the box to be delivered to. When it got there, obviously TJ was pissed because now some random deep web person knew his address, but the user calmed him down a bit and TJ filmed the user while he opened the box. Inside, they found a wristband that said All Day Pass Santa Cruz Boardwalk. They found one guitar string and a birthday card that said Happy 10th birthday, Danny, love you always, Mom. The user was pissed the box was a bust despite MRCC promising a terrifying one. MRCC messaged him the next day asking him about the box, and he said, don't worry friend, the next box is coming today, and he was like, what next box? Either way, it showed up at TJ's house again, but he wasn't home, but this time the box had the user's real name and address on it. Red flag number 1. Inside the box was a burner cell phone that had 2 contacts on it. Call
Whoa.
first and call second.
Are y'all calling that number? Are y'all calling it? Are y'all no, ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'm not, no. I'd have found some random person or somebody, anybody but me. I'm not calling those numbers.
Called the first number and it was TJ's voicemail, and then MRCC started talking, asking, what do you think, friend? The user was pissed and MRCC replied saying friends don't lie to each other, implying he lied to him about his real address by giving him TJ's. He kept asking if the user had uploaded the first video onto YouTube, and if he hadn't, he really should because there were more boxes coming his way. Again, where is TJ? No one knows. And finally, at number 1 is the house. YouTube channel Oh My Gosh TV bought a Dybbuk box but was actually just gonna bury it. His friend Joe was the one who decided to open it, and not just open it in an old Jewish family home that is known to be haunted. Because why? Why not act Storm Joe? Go ahead. This is why people can't have nice things, people. This is why. While Omar showed us what was inside the Dybbuk box, he heard a massive sound from the other room, and it turns out the spirit had knocked over a door that was propped up against the wall. Clearly pushed by a ghost or the Dybbuk, I don't really know. He then
That you let in the house.
asked if anyone was there with him, after which he heard another sound, which was the spirit knocking over a stepladder, and then the chandeliers of 2 rooms started shaking and moving, which is never a good sign. Every time it's happened in a movie, never a good sign. Inside the box itself is an old black and white photo of a family, and when Omar tries to show us what's inside again, a chair comes sliding across the room. It was in the hallway outside the room, and I kid you not, it just slides across. The cherry on top is the fact Omar had locked the front door to this house, and when he revisits it, he finds it not only unlocked, but actually open. So at that point, you're like, well, were those things happening real, or did someone just sneak into the house and do that? I'm not too sure. Point being, I don't know why or how he'd be in that already haunted house by himself with a newly released Dybbuk spirit. Nothing about that sounds appealing. Nothing at all. And that's it for today's video, guys. I think I've heard enough about deep web mystery box.
It's still crazy. Where is your friend at? And I'm talking about, what was it, number 2? Yeah. Where's your friend? You got the cell phone with these numbers in it, and he knows you gave him the wrong address. Look what you done stepped into. Look what you done started. Now, like, that, ooh, no way, homie. I don't need that stress in my life. Not for some box, some random box. No. People are crazy, bro. And you give them an address, then they'll research, then they'll go, like, no. And that was dirty of him to even give his friend, like, Y'all ain't friends. You can't be friends. If y'all friends, my definition of friend is changing because I clearly don't understand that one. That would have pissed me off if you did that. What? Why are you sending to mom, bro? Yeah. We'd have had more than words. That's all I'm gonna say. That is all I'm gonna say. Yeah. That would have went horribly for him. Horribly. Yeah. But y'all get at me in the comment section, man. Let me know what you think. This was the top 10 curse boxes that should have stayed shut, man. Leave Pandora's box closed. All right? Final words. It's your boy L. Till the next reaction, I'm gone. Peace.